So, if you look at it, the consoles in the early years focused on the graphics and the computing power. And it wasn't until PlayStation 3 that we started looking at the larger user experience that surrounds the game. So there's just not that much to take from PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2. They were very dedicated game machines. PlayStation 3, we started to get outside of that mold. They are multi-purpose machines. You can watch movies on them. And then with PlayStation 4, it's becoming truly a multi-purpose device. Creators are free to create whatever games they want to do. It's just a question of what the game needs. So if the game is something where there is a world that's perhaps being maintained on the server, and the only way that you can play it is to be always connected, then always connected makes perfect sense. If the game is something like Skyrim, where you're playing it by yourself, then always connected doesn't make any sense at all. So the PlayStation 4 product started, in some senses it started in the summer of 2007, because that's when we did a post-mortem on the PlayStation 3. And we started to think about what sort of direction we would want to take the next console. And our conclusion was that we wanted to be a console by game developers for game developers. And so in 2008, 2009, we went out and we would ask questions of the development community, what they would like to see in a game console going forward. And then as we started putting together the console, we'd then take what we built and show it to those same game developers, both inside and outside of Sony Computer Entertainment, and ask them how they felt about what we were building. So consoles tend to hit above their weight if you look at price performance. There's a few reasons for that. One is there's a very thin software layer in between the games and the hardware. And so that allows us to have more performance. Also, because it's a fixed spec, the programmers can study it and they can learn how to program it directly to what it can do well. And so as the years go by, you'll see the quality of the games improving as well. Consoles also, because they have a fixed specification, are very attractive to a lot of the game developers. Some of the developers need 5 years to create a title, and if they're making that for a console, then they can do that with the confidence that the spec that they start out with at the beginning of the game project is the spec that the console will still be at the end of the game project. With NAC, there's really two targets. One target is that I knew that there would be quality core games at launch for that predominantly male core gamer. Watch Dogs, Killzone, and the like. But I wanted to be sure that there was something for the rest of the family, sons, daughters, spouses, and the like. So one of the targets with NAC was to create this story-driven family adventure where pretty much anybody can play it if it's on easy, the difficulty setting, whether they play games regularly or not. The other target, we're trying to make a game that speaks to the nostalgia that gamers have for Crash Bandicoot or Sonic the Hedgehog or the like, the platform action games of that era. I mean, of course, what we're doing now is quite a bit more sophisticated in many ways, but we're trying to recreate the feeling that you had when you first played those games. And so NAC, if you play it on a hard difficulty setting, is really supposed to be that kind of old school challenge for the nostalgia gamer. For pretty much any title that is based on the DualShock 4, you can play that game as remote play on Vídeo. And our intent there is to make the playing of games work better within the family environment. So maybe somebody else wants to use the TV set. So you can switch from playing your game on the TV set to playing your game on a 5-inch screen on Vídeo. And all that the game development team needs to do to support this is they have to figure out how to map the DualShock controls onto the Vídeo controls. I think the biggest aspect of PlayStation 4 that is benefiting the developers is that it is very easy to make games for. And as a result of that, we have what I believe is the strongest launch lineup in Sony computer entertainment history. And we have, is it 140 titles? 140 titles in development. Now, we are very focused on the developer because that's who makes the games that the gamer wants to play. So we love the developers, but we love them for a specific reason, is that if the console is the one that they want to make the games for, that the players will benefit by being able to